What's going on, everybody? Power 5 time here on WagerTalk TV. I am the appropriately named Bryan Power of WagerTalk.com. New haircut, here to help you break down Saturday's Monster College Hoops slate. I'll be letting you know which teams to buy low and sell high on today. Our stat of the week has to do with number 1 UConn. And at the end, I'll give you a free winner for Saturday. But as always, we start the Power 5 by bringing up the WagerTalk.com live on screen to see how the market is moving. And we have 2 unranked teams laying points to top 25 opponents this afternoon. Wake Forest against Duke, Ole Miss against South Carolina. Both unranked home favorites are taking money as of this recording. Wake up to -2.5. They open -1.5. That's despite the fact Duke's a top 10 team in the country. Ole Miss, they're now -3.5 after opening -2.5 against the South Carolina team that's been in a bit of free fall. We talked about the Gamecocks earlier in the week on the Power 5, how they're a ranked team that does not deserve to be ranked. No surprise to me, Ole Miss is favored here and taking money. 2 other unranked home teams on Saturday could close as favorites if the line keeps moving their way. Kansas State, now +1. They open +2.5 versus BYU. BYU was a nice winner for us earlier in the week against Baylor, remember. UNLV, currently a pick'em. They open +1.5 versus Colorado State. That's an 8 p.m. Eastern tip, so we've got plenty of time to check out to see how that line moves. Looking at Saturday's top 25 matchups, Houston's holding steady as a 2.5-point favorite at Baylor. Kentucky out to a 2.5-point favorite versus Alabama. Kentucky opened as a pick'em. And how about that total for Kentucky-Bama? Down to 175. It opened a very high 179. That is a 4 p.m. Eastern tip-off. All right, let's go to buy low, sell high. And for this week, we're going to change things up a little bit. I'm just going to give you 2 sell-high teams in this spot. There's a lot of sell-high spots, quite frankly, on today's card. But these are the 2 I have circled. First is Samford out in the SoCon, the Southern Conference. They're laying double digits against East Tennessee State. And you do not want to lay double digits with Samford today. I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, they've got the regular season title in the SoCon all but sewn up. That's after a big revenge win against Furman. Furman is handed Samford one of 2 conference losses this year. Samford just avenged that with a very narrow win earlier in the week. They now just need 1 win over their final 3 games, and they're regular season champs in the SoCon. Now they're 16-0 straight up at home, is Samford. So, okay, are they going to win today as a double-digit favorite? Yes, but 2 key players are injured, and East Tennessee State took Samford down to the wire earlier in the year. It was a 2-point game back on January 27th. The Buccaneers covered the 6-point spread in that one, and they should stay within single digits for a second time against Samford here. Big edge in offensive rebounding to ETSU. For the record, Samford, they're down to -11. They opened -12.5 in this 3 p.m. Eastern tip. Our second sell-high team for Saturday, this is a classic sell-high spot. It's Tarleton State. The Texans just upset first-place Grand Canyon here at home earlier in the week. That was number 1 versus number 2 in the WAC. That 77-74 victory as 5-point underdogs, okay, Tarleton State was a home dog there. That was their 7th win in a row. They've also covered the number in all 7 of those straight-up wins. The Texans now, number 1 in Ken Palm's luck rating. This is due to some pretty fortunate results in close games, obviously. In fact, 4 of those last 7 wins have been by 5 points or less. You go back further, 8 of Tarleton State's 12 conference wins this year have been by 5 points or less. To me, that makes taking the points here with Cal Baptist seem like the right move, especially since the Lancers beat Tarleton State earlier in the year by 14 as a 4-point home dog. I know Cal Baptist comes into today on a 4-game losing streak. This is a team that doesn't beat themselves, though. Very low turnover rate. The Lancers have 6 losses by 5 points or less as well. Again, we'll take a close loss, and a close game should be expected here because per Ken Palm, the WAC has the 3rd highest percentage of close games, the close games divided by a game decided by 4 points or less or an overtime. So take the points here with Cal Baptist. They're down to +5.5 open plus 6.5, so bettors are definitely taking notice of this sell-high spot on Tarleton State already. Moving to our stat of the week. Number 1, UConn in action tonight. They're laying 12 at home against Villanova, but that's not what I want to talk about. You may recall earlier in the week, the Huskies lost at Creighton. Creighton was a 3% winner for yours truly. Well, that result also happened to drop UConn to an unfathomable 0-21 straight up on the road against ranked teams over the last 10 seasons. It's true. Our stat of the week may not apply to today, but you're certainly going to want to file it away. Keep it in mind for when UConn travels to face Marquette in the regular season finale on March 6th. One more time, UConn 0 for their last 21 straight up on the road against ranked opponents over the last decade. Okay, before we get to the power play of the week, I'm going to let you know time is running out on the special offer I mentioned earlier in the week, where you can save $25 on a 7-day all-access pass by using coupon code WEEK25. That's WEEK25 at checkout. 7 days of winners for me in all sports for $74. Just $74. That's what that coupon code gets you. Last night, my only play was Bowling Green plus 4.5. The Falcons ended up with a very nice, comfortable outright win over Toledo. I'm now plus 90.6 units in all hoops, not NBA and college combined, over the last 13 months. It's an 80-63-2 record this season in college, 47-33-2 season record in NBA, where I'm a red-hot 10-3-1 after Thursday's easy win on Toronto. You go back to Christmas, I'm on a 36-20-2 all-sports run with plays rated 4% or higher. I have a trio of 4% best bets in college going Saturday afternoon, and then one 4% best bet in NBA that goes tonight. All of those plays currently posted at my page, wt.buzz/BP right now. To get both packages, it would cost you $54 normally. So be sure to use that coupon code WEEK25, WEEK25, and instead, you get the next 7 days, all sports, college, NBA, and soccer for just $74. All right, let's wrap it up. Power play of the week. It's going to be on Oklahoma, who is now an underdog to Oklahoma State. I cannot believe Oklahoma State is favored here. Yes, I know the Pokes have covered 5 in a row. They've pulled consecutive outright wins over BYU and Cincinnati. That Cincinnati win, they were 10-point road underdogs on Wednesday. But the Cowboys, again, they should not be favored here. Even in Stillwater, this is their rival Oklahoma coming to town on Saturday. The Sooners have been off for a full week, and they've had that week to think about back-to-back losses to Baylor and Kansas. Baylor and Kansas are 2 top 20 teams in America. We know that. This is a drop in class for the Sooners, and I have them as a favorite here. I cannot believe they're an underdog, quite frankly. And you got to note, Oklahoma State's only been favored once in Big 12 play, gang. They ended up pushing as a 4-point favorite against West Virginia. Oklahoma certainly is a couple levels above West Virginia, aren't they? And to that point, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, they met 2 weeks ago. Oklahoma, now it was at home, but they closed as an 11.5-point favorite. They ended up winning by only 4, but I don't think that close call justifies a double-digit line swing. This is the first time all season Oklahoma State has won 2 straight conference games. I don't see them making it 3 in a row. Just go ahead, play Oklahoma money line in this one. That is your power play of the week, and that does it for me. You can find me on X, that's formerly Twitter, at Bryan Power _wins. Until next time. Oh, and by the way, you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up if you like what you heard. But until next time, let's catch some winners.